Hello procrastinators and welcome back. So today we are going to make a layered shirt. We are going to use the unicorn pattern. I got a request through a comment, so we're going to do that. But before we do, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can get notifications. All right, so as you can see, I actually do listen to comments. So please, if you have a comment, leave them below. If you want me to do something, leave that below as well. Also, check out my links in the description box. Okay, now that I've said all that, let's get started. So as you probably know, the first thing we need to do is go into Design Space. Once we're in Design Space, we're going to click on Images, which is on the left side toolbar. Once we've done that, we can go up to the top of that page and then type in the word unicorn. And of course, it brings up all of these assorted unicorns. So after you've done that, the next thing that you need to do, of course, is select the one that you want, obvious. But just a little note here, the ones that have the little A, which looks like most of these, is a subscription item through Cricut Access. I have Cricut Access, so all of these things are free to me. The free is in quotations because I'm paying for it through their subscription. So you select the one you want, you hit continue. Once you've done that, it's going to populate it into the design space. And then from there, you're going to hit text if you want text. If you just want the image, you would stop here and just hit continue so that everything goes to the mats. But I did want text, so I'm writing teachers are magical on this section of on this t-shirt. So I'm adding that text up there. Also, as you can see, I'm going to play around with it. I think in the end, I actually take off the teachers are and redo it so that I can get it to curve. So you see I have the magical on there. I'm going to look for the text that I want, which is here. Once I do that, up at the top there is a place where you can size what you're doing as well as make it have a curve. So if you look at the top right hand side, you will see that you can have that curve adjustment. So once you got the text the way you want, the next thing that you need to do, of course, is hit continue so that you can get to your mats. Just the key thing here is if it places things on the mats that you want on different mats, you can use, click on the image, click on move to selected mat, I believe it says, and then you can move that image to a different mat, which is what I just did. So that gives you an opportunity to move things from mat to mat. I will note that you have to do this at the beginning. If you do this after you've made a cut or so, it's not going to let you do it. So the other thing that I did was just went through and mirrored each image. I didn't need to do this but for the words, but I like to keep everything consistent. So I hit mirror on each of the mats just so that it could stay consistent with what I was doing and it wouldn't be facing a different direction than my words or the way that I originally saw it when I did it in Design Space. So with that, we're just going to move on to our next thing, which is actually cutting this out. Okay, so now that we have done everything that we needed to do on the computer, the next step is to now cut all of those layers, and you have 8 of them. So my suggestion is if you have scraps, I keep my scraps, it doesn't look very neat right now, but I keep my scraps in a notebook for all of my iron-on in one notebook and all of my regular 651, whatever kind of vinyl in another notebook. So that I don't open a new roll every time I need something. So I went through the 8 layers and pulled out scraps that I think will be the right size. And so I'm going to use those. So now that I've said that little piece, we're going to go ahead and get these things cut out. Okay, so as everything is being sent to the Cricut, just a tip, don't wait for everything to cut if you don't have to. While one thing is cutting, you can go ahead and start weeding something else. So that's what I did. And as you can see, like my light is blinking for me to pull that mat out. So I'm going to pull that mat out, put something else in, and so that I can go ahead and start with a different cut. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this real quick. This is the bright pad. So it has lower light, which to me helps you with nothing. But when you put it all the way up bright, which is going to change my camera, you can see the lines from where the cuts were made. So it makes it a little bit easier to weed. And of course, that's going to give me a hard time. So it gives you an opportunity to see that, because you can see it's really hard to see when you're weeding stuff that is the glitter material among a couple of others. So just a quick tip for there. And quick thing, one of the things that I'm doing while the Easy Press is warming up, and it is warming up to 305 with 20-second timer. But what the flowers that cut for this cut with, as you can see, that's a different color dot. It's actually the dot for this. So when they cut, I just went ahead and moved the dots from the center to the right transfer paper, and then that way I don't have to worry about that additional layer and more heat on my flower and my other images. So just wanted to show you that really quick. Alright, so now we're on the last phase of this. I kind of laid this out just to see how far everything would go down. I am going to take this, and you need to be mindful of this. I'm going to take this because there's a gap and just stick it underneath this, but not underneath where it hits my letters up here, because then your letters is going to stick to the transfer paper and not to the t-shirt. So like I said, you just kind of center it the way that you want. I've already measured from here to here. It's about 5.5 on each end. I will say I made a mistake when I was doing this, because I did not measure how long this thing was. I just started cutting. So you want to make sure you do that when you're doing those first steps. So I'm just going to do this in pieces, because like I said, this is a layered process. So my first layer is gonna go on with just these. Once I have it on there, I'm gonna hit my timer. Like I said before, the timer is set at 20 seconds, and it is at the temperature of 305. And you just want to press, because it is an easy press for a reason. I say that in a lot of my videos, don't I? So you give it that 20 seconds. And shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Ooh, another thing that I did not do was put the press over it first. You kind of want to do that, which I must need some sleep. Just came back from vacation, y'all, so I'm a little tired. So that is your beginning. Don't throw these away when you're doing this, because you're going to need to cover those back up after you're putting on, as you're putting on different layers. So the next layer for me is going to be those ears that go on top. So, and it just makes a slight difference since this shirt is gray. I like to keep up my computer so that I can see what layer comes next. So I know for me, my next layer will be also the leaves. And I'm getting back on here just so that I can make sure. So I'm seeing where the leaves go, because I think I can also do my leaves right about now. So it looks like that goes right here. So just trying to see how close this is to this so I do it right. So this is kind of a, I guess kind of the curves from the other things helps to guide you. It looks like these are pretty close to one another, so it helps to guide what I'm going to do next. So I think that's good. And then I'm going to just cover back up what I've already done, or at least where I think my, ooh, let me make sure. See, I'm about to mess up, y'all. So I can't put that down because this transfer paper is here. So if I would have put that down, I would have just ruined my leaves. So good thing I was paying attention a little bit. So I'm going to fast forward through all of these so you'll just hear me speaking possibly when you watch. So in this portion of the video, you're just going to see every layer get put down on the shirt. So I did this like 400 speed faster just so that I can get you through all of the different layers. But basically you just need to remember that, one, find the spot that it's supposed to go in. Make sure that transfer tape isn't underneath where you want the image to go down so that it doesn't stick to the transfer paper. Make sure you cover up everything else. As you'll notice, I don't stick to the 20 seconds because I'm doing so many layers. I don't want the layers that's already there to get too much heat to them. So just keep that in mind. If you can get away, instead of 20 seconds, if you can get away with 10 or 12 seconds, do that. And then that way, as you're working your way through those layers, you're not putting that extra heat. You'll also notice that I'm shaking the shirt, and that's because it is hot. So just going through each layer, you want to make sure you dissipate some of that heat and then get to the next layer. So now we are all finished. Maya Washington. Look at that, girl. You wanted a multicolored unicorn. And there you have it. So, just so you can see, this right here was rainbow. You can buy rainbow vinyl, y'all. So I will put all of that down in the description box. If you're interested in that, I did buy it off Amazon, and there will be an affiliate link below. Again, thank you, Maya, for your comment. And if you have comments, please, or questions, please leave them. I do answer. So if you leave them, I will try my best to make the video that you are trying to have made with whatever Cricut project you have, or just leave me a comment. You know, if you like what I'm doing here, I'd appreciate hearing that. If you have a suggestion on how something can be better, I'd appreciate hearing that too. I want my channel to get better so that it can grow. So thank you so much for your time, and you know what, guys, I'll see y'all all the next time.